the end of Kashperova's long course of studies at the Conservatoire, she emerged with her diplomas in 1895 and immediately, during the summer holidays, set about composing a cello sonata. Initially, she was just too shy to show to the professor of cello, Alexander Verzhbilovich, but eventually she did pluck up the courage, and they read it through together, and he absolutely adored it. He took it to Rimsky-Korsakov, he showed it to Lyadov, they praised it to the hilt, and she was encouraged to have it published almost immediately. She then wrote another one, a second sonata, and she performed them both with Verzhbilovich in Moscow and St Petersburg. And I honestly think that these two works are amongst the most impressive Opus 1 compositions by any young composer I can possibly think of, including the great composers. They are immensely impressive. The piano parts are obviously full. They reveal her technique. In places they are very, very difficult, but never domineering. I don't believe they are so dominant, for example, as Brahms's piano parts can be, or even Rachmaninoff. But they are a handful. They need magnificent pianists to play them. So when I hear these cello sonatas being played, whoever is playing them, I can imagine Kashperova, and I can visualize and hear the tremendous technique and musicality she has.
My first independent composition was a sonata for piano and cello, dedicated of course to Verzhbilovich. I wrote it in the summer and I wanted to show it to him in the autumn, but changed my mind. Later, I timidly admitted that I had written a sonata for piano and cello. When we had played the first movement, he exclaimed, "What a surprising lady you are! How beautiful this is and how it suits the cello!" We continued with the scherzo, then the elegiacal and melodical andante, which he played excellently, and then the rather immature and naive finale, after which we fell into each other's arms. I was ecstatic.
It's music that really invites you to bring your own voice to it. It's sort of the phrases wind around, the very first phrase of the first movement sort of winds around, and all of a sudden you just say, well, even without knowing, you say, well, let's try something here. And then once you play it some more, then you try something else. But it's just so participative.
From my point of view, this sonata is genuinely a gift for cellists. There are great tunes to play, and it's just a joy from beginning to end.
I think the first impression actually I had was it was so Russian. It was so folk kind of themes, especially I think the slow movement was super, I had this kind of image of the field somewhere in the morning, and it was very folky kind of ideas there.
To find the natural way of how the melody flows and sings, and this was, I think, for us, for me, was the main demand, because my part as a cello part is not so technically complicated.
What I personally think is this kind of romantic era was, for me, is really important. So when something new is old, in some sense, I think I'm really happy to do that, it's romantic pieces.
We have to thank Kashperova's nephew, Alexei Kashperov, for the existence of that magnificent collection of scores and files that are housed at the Russian National Museum of Music in Moscow. And together with the archivists at the museum, he catalogued 230 files. And in the Russian style, every file has a sheet of paper inserted, an official bureaucratic sheet, where every researcher who opens that file has to declare himself or herself. I could therefore detect, when I opened the file myself in 2016, that I was the first person ever to open the Kashperova file. But I feel very, very blessed to have been the first, and to have been the messenger of this great gift, the gift that Russia has another wonderful Russian romantic composer to add to all the other wonderful romantic composers. And the world of music has the gift of Kashperova's music to enjoy in perpetuity.